Greetings, students. This is the first set of notes for the new school year. This is Earth Science. I'm Mr. Trache. You can see my website URL down at the bottom left, btrache.home.blog. That's where you'll find these videos. And I'll tell you when you need to write something down. You're welcome to write whatever you want, but there's certain things that you need to be writing down. So you should have a pen and paper or a pencil. And the first few slides, though, I'm just going to go over some stuff. And if you were in class for last week, you saw this picture already. That's the Large Hadron Collider. I'm not really there. I'm standing in front of a green screen. We talked about making that inference based on the reflection on my arm. You also saw this slide. I went to VCU, big baseball fan. That's my wedding, my wife Justine, and our pets, and our son Avery. If you were in class on Thursday, we played a little game called Where's Mr. Trache From? And I'm going to give you the answer now. I narrowed it down to all 50 states, not from overseas, and the state that I was born in is North Carolina, a little town called Wilmington on the coast. But I've been living in Richmond for over 2 decades, and this is certainly home now. This is a nice sunset shot of the skyline with the river and the Potterfield Bridge that connects Southside to Browns Island. Highly recommend hiking that. Here's my high school alma mater, Open High, with some former Binford students in the shot if you recognize anybody. So why do we study science? Science is how important questions are answered. Professional scientists use a system of checks and balances to make sure information is correct. It's called the peer review system. If you want to publish scientific work in a reputable science journal, you have to submit your work to a panel of experts who need to approve your work before it is published. But there's so many interesting questions to answer. There's new species to discover, the ocean to explore, outer space to explore, big problems to solve on Earth like climate change and mass extinction events, which we'll talk about later this school year. And important questions like, are we alone in the universe? Are there other universes? These are scientific questions that still need to be answered. Here's a couple of examples of recently discovered species. I thought this was kind of surprising. There's a dolphin that was swimming around in the ocean that they didn't actually record it until 2005. And the ghost dragon millipede is a bug discovered in 2016. So if there's a dolphin swimming around in the ocean that people have never seen before, think about how many bugs must be out there that nobody's ever seen. Here's a familiar face, Bill Nye, with a quote, "Science is the best idea humans have ever had. The more people who embrace that idea, the better." Here's another relatively recent kind of neat discovery. There's a moon of Jupiter named Europa, and it has ice covering it entirely. But the ice is cracked. And the way that the ice is cracked, they suspect that there's tidal forces at play, meaning that under that ice there's probably liquid water. If there's liquid water on another world, that's one of the ingredients that we need for life. So Europa, the moon of Jupiter, is now considered one of the most likely places that we would find possibly life on another world. Here's another famous scientist. The good thing about science is that it's true whether or not you believe in it. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Speaking of non-believers, there's a group called the Flat Earth Society that would have you believe that the Earth is not round. It's interesting. Some people have fallen for this. It's in the news occasionally. The Earth is very much round, and these theories are easily debunked. For one thing, from Earth with a reasonably powered telescope, you can see all the other planets in the solar system, and they're round. It would be kind of weird if the Earth was the only flat one. Flat Earth theory kind of gets lumped in with other pseudoscience like lake monsters and Bigfoot and the Mothman. The cool thing about science is, though, if Bigfoot were actually real and somebody just found a corpse of Bigfoot or captured a live specimen, the scientific community would have to accept it, and the perspective is evolving on lots of things as new discoveries are made. And if there was a dolphin swimming out in the ocean, hey, maybe a large primate in the woods. All right, you'll find that in the notes every once in a while I'll tell the joke. Why has social distancing been especially difficult for the Flat Earth Society? They're afraid of falling off the edge. Ha ha. Thanks for listening. I'll be here all day. So what is earth science? Earth science is the study of earth materials, processes, and energy, and how systems are intertwined to move matter. For example, this is the Grand Canyon. You've probably heard of it, but you might not have realized that the Grand Canyon was formed by a river that flows through it. And slowly over time, over thousands of years, the river has cut through the canyon. And as it's cutting through the canyon, that's the water cycle taking the rocks away. And the movement of sediment through river systems, that's part of the rock cycle. So I'm going to go through a few slides and show you things that we're going to study in earth science. This image is called moonrise. We study space exploration and the solar system. If you're standing on the moon, your perspective changes and the Earth will actually rise over the horizon if you're there at the right time. This is called Devil's Tower in Wyoming, formed as part of the rock cycle, which we'll be studying. This is the Deepwater Horizon disaster. This ties into natural resources. That was an oil rig, humans drilling for oil offshore. We'll be studying the Earth's natural resources, as well as pollution, which this caused a lot of, and ocean exploration. This is a deep sea submersible. Some parts of the ocean, such as trenches, are so deep that you need a specialized submarine to get down there. We'll be studying weather. This area might look familiar to you. That's the 17th Street Farmers Market, downtown Richmond. Flooding, and I believe this is either Hurricane Isabel or Hurricane Ernesto, around 2004, 2005. And we'll look more closely at this another day. Here's a lava flow on the big island of Hawaii just a couple of years ago. We'll be studying plate tectonics in earth science. So here comes the part where you need to write. When we do the notes in class, which won't be every day, maybe like twice a week, there will be certain things you need to write down. I'll let you know when to write and what to write down. If you miss something, the slideshow is available online for you to look at later, so make sure you have something to write with and something to write on. If it's in a notebook, that's fine. If it's in a sketchbook, that's fine. If it's on a loose piece of paper, that's okay. So the title of the notes will be Syllabus Info. So write Syllabus Info at the top of the page and underline it. Write it a little bit bigger than your normal handwriting. So Syllabus Info is in orange text. That's the only thing from this page that you write down, and everything you need to write is going to be in orange text. And I'm trying to help you synthesize what's on the slide to the most important things. So from here on out, write down everything that's in orange text. So the title is Syllabus Info, and then beneath that you've got some bullet points. Class meetings on Google Meet Monday through Friday, assignments mostly on Google Classroom, my website, btrache.home.blog. It's where you'll find the syllabus, the calendar, the parent survey, and other resources. Other websites we'll be accessing through Clever. Supplies, only the ones in your kit from the school. is what's required. Every once in a while, I'll ask you to track down something else, but the only things you really need is what's given in your kit from the school. High school credit. So Earth Science is a high school course. Passing this class and the SOL means you get a verified high school credit, and that's nice because it opens up doors for you later on. You should act accordingly and take the class seriously. In many cases, having high school credits from 8th grade will allow you to take classes in high school that you would otherwise be unable to take. So here's the grading breakdown. I want you to write that down as well. Classwork 30%, projects 25%, tests and quizzes 35%, homework 10%, all graded on a 100-point scale. Students will be keeping a digital science notebook using the Google Slides platform. Completion of all notebook assignments count as a test grade for each 9 weeks. So every 9 weeks I'm going to grade the notebooks. Digital citizenship. So these are pretty much like the classroom norms since we're meeting virtually. Please join class promptly each day using your student Google ID. Start all meetings with camera on and microphone off until instructed otherwise. Be mentally present. Stay focused and respect the ability of other students to focus. Remain in the class session until dismissed. Keep your work area clear of other devices like cell phones. Be kind to each other. And follow traditional classroom norms. Oh, we've got another joke. Lucky day. Why do asteroids taste better than Earth rocks? Because they're a little meteor. Get it? Get it? Late work is accepted at my discretion. Usually I'll take it as long as it's not super duper duper late, or it's not like right when I'm supposed to be submitting grades. But up to 10 points a day may be deducted, so you're going to lose points if it's late, but it's always better to turn something in than nothing. You don't want those zeros in the gradebook. Cheating or plagiarism will result in a grade of 0 for the assignment. Make sure you cite your sources because plagiarism is the act of presenting another one's work or ideas as your own. So if you copy something directly, it needs to be cited. If the idea didn't come from your brain, it should be cited. I'm available for extra help as needed. You can always email me and I'll be quick as possible with a response. If you need extra face-to-face time, we can set that up either after class, before school, or after school. So here's some things that we've been working on last week that if you haven't done it, it's now late. The student information form, the parent information form, the first 3 pages of the notebook, which is the cover, my bio page, and your bio page. All right, pop quiz. What percentage of your grade do projects count for? I think it was 25%. All right, so that's it. Here's what it looked like when I wrote it down. I like to fold a page in half and then use kind of like 2 half sheets and write this way, but you can write it any way you want. But if you wrote it by hand, the best thing to do is either take a picture of it and you're going to end up pasting that picture into your notebook, or you can retype it and just fit it all onto one slide, which is possible to do as demonstrated here. And also, if you missed anything, this is an opportunity. You can fill in the blanks of the things that you missed. Of course, throughout the video, you can also pause it anytime you need to pause it. So I think that's it for the first set of notes. This is going to be the first page in your notebook after the bio pages. Yep, that's it. Thanks for watching.